So where does the word lesbian come from? In order to answer this properly, we're obviously going to have to do a bit of a history lesson. You see, there's this island in Greece called Lesbos, and in 630-ish BC, there lived on this island a lady called Sappho. No one knows too much about the details of her life. She was probably an aristocrat, but historians generally tend to agree that Sappho divided her time between two basic activities. The first one was having sex with women, and the second one was really the bit that made her famous, writing about having sex with women. She was actually one of the best known poets in antiquity. Men and women both really loved her poetry. Can't imagine why that would be. So that's where the word lesbian comes from. There was a lady on an island who just just slew basically all the on that island. and thereafter, that island came to be associated with which I think that's pretty impressive, right? Like, where does the word lesbian come from? Well, there was one epic lesbian 2,600 years ago who was so amazingly lesbian that that's where the word comes from. But look, to be 100% fair, there is some controversy about her sexuality. So there is a tradition that suggests that she killed herself by jumping off some cliffs because she loved a ferryman called Phaon, who was a dude. There is another tradition that says she probably had a daughter, which means, she must have done it with a dude at some point. So yeah, there definitely is some controversy out there, but I really want to emphasize that pretty much none of these little factoids are verifiable in any way. And as if to demonstrate just how easy it is for these factoids to come from absolutely nowhere, there is this other tradition which tells us that Sappho was married to a dude. That's according to the Sutta, which was a kind of encyclopedia that the Byzantines put together a good 1,500 years later. However, the name the Byzantines give this husband that she's apparently married to is Kerkylos, from the Isle of Andros. And this is actually pretty significant because Kirkos in ancient Greek means penis, and Andros means man, or like manliness, or like masculinity. So, if we believe the Sutta, then Sappho, this raging homo, was apparently married to a guy whose name was the equivalent of like cock penisly, or like penis Shaftington from the island of masculinity. Which, yeah, I don't know. I feel like even the ancient Greeks wouldn't have gone and called their son that. Like, that's a pretty big burden to give a kid, Okay, I'm sorry. So yeah, basically, the idea is that the Sutta guys probably found this joke graffitied on the wall. The kind of thing, you'd write if you're about 12, and didn't translate it. So they were like, oh yeah, Kerkylos from Andros. Yeah, that sounds perfectly fine. It's a perfectly normal name. Let's chuck it in our dictionary. And I guess the point here is that we will, in fact, never know exactly how gay Sappho was. We are 2,600 years removed from all of these events, so anything is possible, really. But we do still have her poems, right? Which we are 100% sure she wrote, and which we're like 99% sure are talking about how much she likes. And also, again, scholars, the people who are, paid to write about this stuff and do the research and, spend thousands of hours trying to find a translation for this one word that Sappho wrote on a piece of toilet paper. They're pretty much all in agreement that she was, gay as a French horn. So yeah, that's pretty much as safe of a conclusion as we're ever going to get. Unless they like unearth some massive tome that she's written about how much she loves penises, or something like that. So yeah, fun fact. I hope that brightened your day. You can go back to, I don't know, making spreadsheets and fantasizing about, having funch with the chick 3 cubicles down.